When my wife, Sarah, asked me to sit down one evening, I could tell instantly that something was off. Her hands were shaking slightly. Her gaze refused to meet mine, and an uneasy silence filled the room, one that didn't belong between us. I figured it was about something small, money, stress, maybe a bad day at work. But then she drew in a long, uneven breath, lifted her eyes to mine, and spoke the words that shattered my world. I'm in love with someone else. For a moment, everything froze. My mind went blank. The room fell silent, as if sound itself had been erased. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. Instead, a strange calm washed over me, and I found myself smiling, not out of joy, but from a quiet sense of release. Perfect, I whispered. Sarah's face twisted in confusion. She must have expected rage, maybe tears, but not this. I stood up, walked into the kitchen, and poured a glass of water as though she just told me we were out of milk. That single word, perfect, lingered in the air longer than any argument ever could. For years, I had been the one trying to hold us together. I ignored the late-night texts, dismissed the girls' trips, and tolerated the coldness that had taken over her warmth. Deep down, I'd already known. Her confession didn't break me. It simply confirmed what my gut had been whispering for months. And in a strange way, it felt like freedom. She stumbled through explanations, saying it just happened, that she never meant to hurt me. But I wasn't really listening anymore. I told her quietly to take what she needed and go be with the man she thought she loved. That night, I packed her bags, set them by the door, and went to bed without another word. She left silently, not realizing that walking away was the greatest gift she could have given me. The weeks that followed were oddly peaceful. The quiet in the house didn't feel empty. It felt clean. I threw myself into work, started eating better, and reconnected with friends I'd long neglected. My life, once spinning around her moods and half-truths, finally began to orbit around me again. About a month later, there was a knock at my door. Sarah stood there, eyes red and swollen, her confidence gone. She asked if we could talk. Against my better judgment, I let her in. Before she even sat down, she broke down crying. "It was a mistake," she sobbed. "He's not who I thought he was. I don't love him. I love you." I watched her carefully, trying to decide if her tears were real or just another performance. A part of me wanted to believe her. We had shared years together. But another part remembered the sleepless nights, the doubt, the pain. "You told me you loved someone else." I reminded her softly. "Now you're saying that wasn't true?" She nodded frantically, claiming she'd been confused, manipulated, scared, that it had all been a phase. But as she spoke, that same calm I felt the night she confessed came over me again. "Sarah," I said quietly, "it doesn't matter anymore. Whether it was real or not, you showed me who you are." Her face went pale. She tried to reach for my hand, but I stepped back. I told her I'd already moved on inside. You can't rebuild something that's already collapsed. Love broken by betrayal doesn't heal. It becomes a shadow, something familiar but hollow. She pleaded, promised counseling, begged for another chance. But her desperation only made me realize how peaceful my life had become without her chaos. I told her she needed to find her own path, but it couldn't include me. After she left, I stood by the window, watching her walk away, just as she had weeks before. But this time, there was no pain, no anger, just closure. She had made her choice, and I had finally made mine. In the months that followed, I rebuilt everything she had broken, not by finding someone new, but by rediscovering myself. I traveled, picked up new hobbies, and learned how to smile again. Sometimes the endings that hurt the most are the ones that lead you back to peace. Sarah reached out a few more times, but I never replied. I didn't hate her. In truth, I was thankful. Her confession had snapped me out of an illusion I should have left long ago. She thought she destroyed me, but instead, she set me free from a love that had already died. When people ask if I ever regret letting her go, I just smile and say, not even a little, because when she said, "I'm in love with someone else," and I answered, "Perfect," that was the exact moment I stopped losing a wife and started finding myself.